ladies and gentlemen, John Ashton here. I'm out the studio today. I'm over by Kennedy Space Center in the Space Hub, and I'm actually in a flying kitchen. Yes, this is a module. Look at this, it's remarkable. Today we're going to be cooking with Dania, and Dania is the chef to the astronauts, and we're going to show you today how you can cook astronaut food in your kitchen. Hi Dania, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Oh, thank you very much for that.
Fabulous.
What do you think? Isn't this fantastic?
Well, let's see. Let's cinch it in a little bit. Give you more of a figure. There you go.
I need it. I do. I've been putting on so much weight. I think I'm going to put more weight on. So we're going to learn about space food.
We are. We've brought you a whole bunch of items here that we're going to let you try. A lot of different things that have flown in space, fly in space now, and let you try a little bit of everything.
Tell us a little bit more. Some of the things what we wouldn't have thought, what we see on the store. You know, like.
Well, I think what most people don't realize is that astronauts can take just about anything into space now to eat, as long as it doesn't break or spill. Pretty much if it goes in your lunch kit and it doesn't spill any time during the entire day while you're at the 5th grade, you can take it up on the space shuttle or up to the space station. For example, pudding like you would put in your kid's lunch kit. It goes up just like that.
Regular pudding?
Except for one difference.
Okay.
Velcro. Everything needs Velcro. Everything floats away. When the astronauts open this, they have to be very careful. It will stick. It won't float out. It'll stick to the top. But if you would hand me that spoon over there.
The spoon?
Now the spoon's probably Velcroed to the tray.
It's Velcroed, yeah.
One of the big problems they have is, and I'm not going to open this because I'm going to stick it to you. But when you eat in space, you have to be very careful and scoop slowly, because if you scoop fast, like my 8-year-old does, and shovel it in, one of the big problems they have on the shuttle and the space station is flinging.
Oh, God.
So the new astronauts that have never flown before tend to fling food a lot on the other one. So here's your spoon when you need it.
Oh, you just click.
And look at this, their suits. There. It's like they're going to stay on you right there. Here. They also have pockets. You can put it in your pocket right there.
Because everything will float. You've got to try and stick it. Look,
everything will float around. Everything. I mean, even astronauts have to brush their teeth. But you can't just, lay your toothbrush down and spit. You have to spit into a tube. It's like a suction. It's almost like a vacuum cleaner tube.
Really?
Just like you would at the dentist. So it doesn't go floating all over. And then, if you need your toothbrush later. Or you don't want to go put it up right away.
You just stick it to yourself?
Just stick it to yourself.
That's cool.
We got to get you higher quality Velcro is what we have to do.
It's me. Nothing can stick to me.
But what we've done is I brought you a couple of different things here.
Yeah, what type of foods?
You know what we're going to start with? Astronaut ice cream.
Oh,
astronaut ice cream. One of the most popular space foods on Earth ever that has never been consumed in space.
No. Never. Astronaut ice cream?
Hand me those scissors. Again, a very, very important tool in space.
Really?
If you want to eat, you better make sure you know where the scissors are.
Of course, because you can't open up the wrappers.
Everything, you want to be able to get into everything. Now, if you were in space, you wouldn't open this the whole way. Because it would float out. And float out. Now, one of the reasons they wouldn't carry this in space is it's dehydrated, and when you dehydrate ice cream, can you feel it? Lots of crumbs.
Yeah, of course.
And you don't want that floating all over.
Wow.
But this is Neapolitan ice cream, which I personally don't think tastes good in its regular form.
Really?
So here, I'm going to let you try some.
And it's dehydrated?
It's dehydrated Neapolitan ice cream.
Really?
Kids love it. The #1 product at JSC, Kennedy Space Center, Johnson Space Center. What do you think? Kind of like chalk with sugar.
It's darling.
So, big myth, this has never flown in space. Although, we actually, the Space Store.
Actually, it's nice. I can imagine children will like that.
They love it. We have it at thespacestore.com, and we actually sent a package of it up on a supply mission to Expedition 7, and I'll have you know it's still sitting up there. Even the astronauts won't eat it. But the kids love it, and it's a great way to show people how they dehydrate food.
When it gets in your palate, it's dry, and it just,
Now, all of these things go into space. They have to be packaged very carefully. You can't load everything up in a grocery bag like you would and carry it home from the local market. It has to be all packed very carefully. You'll notice these dehydrated foods, they're very light. That's broccoli au gratin.
Broccoli au gratin.
Which is why they sell astronaut ice cream and not that, because,
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Not a lot of kids going, Mom, please buy me some broccoli.
No, I see. It's got like a barcode on it. What's that?
It's got a barcode so they can check everything in. Nothing goes on the shuttle or goes up to the International Space Station without it being checked in. They know every single thing that's packaged in one of these modules. That's what Space Hab does. Space Hab makes these modules. We help pack them up. What we do is we're basically the moving van, and the moving van sits in the back of the shuttle. We help them carry their food, their clothing, their experiments, everything that needs to be taken up there. So we help with the supply missions to the International Space Station, and hopefully in the future we'll be doing the same for the trips to the moon and to Mars. They can carry up to 10,000 pounds in one of these modules you see behind us. And you need all of those, just like you need it if you're moving into a new apartment. You need all these things. So that's how all these things get up there. Now, when did you come to the States?
I came several years ago.
Now, did you guys have space food sticks when you were growing up in England?
Never heard of it,
Big
no.
thing. Pillsbury used to make these.
Really?
And they're kind of like a Tootsie Roll crossed with a Power Bar.
Really?
I used to have these in my lunch, which somebody's doing the math right now and figuring out how old I am. And there's a company in Australia that bought the rights to them. They're the only company in the world that's still making space food sticks. Now, this is a chocolate one. We get a lot of requests for the peanut butter, and they're going to start making those soon. But those are the old space food sticks. Similar to the way they did food on the early missions, but again, more of a novelty, like the astronaut ice cream. I loved those things.
I don't think I could be an astronaut.
Do you know when they first came, when we found these a few years ago, the first time I took a bite of it, it's like all of a sudden, Sutton Elementary School, 6th grade, I can remember what my lunch kit looked like, everything. I loved these. But you're right, they're Power Bar, Tootsie Roll. Here, you want some ice cream with that? No. Okay.
No, it's kind of...
Let's do some real food, though.
Licorice, seriously. No, I think that's... Do the astronauts have these, Dane?
No.
They don't?
No.
It's just mainly for the
This is similar to the food that they used to eat and was created as a novelty, probably the late 60s, early 70s, and then they stopped making them. About the time we stopped flying to the moon, and a lot of interest at the time had died off in the space program, Pillsbury stopped making them. Huge product with the baby boomers at thespacestore.com. You would think they had found gold when they find out we have a space food stick.
I think it's great. It really
now, what
is.
we do have also at the Space Store is real space food.
Now, this is what I'm interested in.
Now, there's a couple of different things. Again, astronauts can carry just about anything into space.
Certainly.
But there's also been some special foods created for them. You've seen the dehydrated foods, and we'll make some of that in just a minute. But we also have what's called thermostabilized food. Thermostabilized, it's ready to eat. It already has the liquid. You can feel the weight.
Yeah.
So they can't carry a lot of this yet because it's so expensive to carry things on the shuttle. You know, look at the difference in weight between a dehydrated food.
Of course, yeah. We can see here and the weight of that. It's not, you know, that's just remarkable.
But this is like the boiling bags you buy in the grocery store.
Really?
It's similar to the MREs, meals ready to eat, that we serve our military right now. These particular foods are kosher. So several of the astronauts and the international astronauts have requested this. Plus, they're very good.
Yeah.
Now, on the shuttle, they have. It's kind of like an oven. I call it the $10 billion easy bake oven.
Oh gosh.
Because it's like, you know, a light bulb. That's the concept.
Yeah.
On the space station, and we use this to show you how you could do it at home.
Of course, just on your coffee percolator.
They have a hot plate on the space station, and they have straps. Velcro straps, or your food would float off of the hot plate.
Of course, yeah.
So we have put this on that, and you don't have to leave it long. See, it's warm.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is chicken noodle soup.
Now that
Everybody
sounds
loves
darling.
chicken noodle soup. Okay.
Everybody loves
Again, your very important astronaut scissors.
The scissors.
Now, another thing to keep in mind.
Yeah.
If you're going to stick these to yourself, remember they're there. You know how you don't run with scissors?
Most
You don't float with scissors either, okay?
Okay, you don't
Don't run with them, you don't float
Play with
with them. Okay. Now, you have a spoon somewhere around here. But like most guys, you don't want to do dishes.
No.
No, so put it back. Put it back on you.
Sounds wonderful.
Just stick it to you and just eat it out of the package.
Out of the package?
That's how the astronauts like to eat the food. Just squeeze it into your mouth. That's a lot easier, isn't it?
Now that's yummy.
See?
It's not like that ice cream stuff.
I saw a noodle. There you go. That was
So they
nice.
just eat it out of this?
Right. Do you want to pour some? I brought you a little
Yeah,
Got
that
your
would be
little
great.
space shuttle bowl here.
Look at that, that's so cute, isn't it? So let's take a look at what it is then. And did you say you can purchase this?
You can actually buy this at thespacestore.com. We have three
that's
different
great.
foods. We have the beef stew, the old world stew, which we're going to try that in a minute, and the chicken noodle soup,
I tell
which
you,
they love.
this is a great dish. Look at that. And you get some good chicken in it. You know, there's jolly good chicken
There
in
you
it,
go.
isn't it?
And it's not dehydrated. It tastes good.
It looks fantastic, doesn't it?
But you need a condiment.
A condiment?
See, you need a condiment over here.
Of course.
You can't just shake. Are you wearing the salt? There's the salt. Now it would be labeled on the space station. What I took was a regular food color bottle. So to again show people how you can do this at home. Either teachers can do it for their classrooms or parents can do it for their kids. They suspend or they dissolve salt in water.
Why?
Because if you just took salt and were to shake it on your food, off it'd go floating.
Gosh, yeah, of course.
And if you wanted to put this kind of food in a bowl in space, you really could. It's got a consistency that it stays.
Yeah.
But again, you'd have to do dishes.
You don't want to
Nobody
do
wants to
dishes,
do
there's not enough
dishes.
room. To be honest with you, I think a lot of restaurants around, their salt must dispense because they never put it on the food.
So see, you can drip it on the food.
So they just, with the salt and pepper, or any
The
seasonings.
pepper is actually suspended in oil. It doesn't work well with water. So in regular like vegetable oil,
Yeah.
and then it's put in a little dropper. We also have soy sauce over there. I've got a little bit of vinegar.
Soy sauce.
They take olive oil.
And you just stick them to yourselves. And
Yeah, and they have little the containers and the drawers where they can store all this. But when you're cooking, or if you think, how many times have you taken a bite of food and said, I need some more salt?
Yeah.
So, there's your salt.
That's
right
it, passes
there.
the salt over.
Yeah,
chap.
you can pass it to each other
That's
that way. I don't
fantastic.
have any- What we're going to do here is we're going to take some of the dehydrated food.
Okay.
Now again, it's this is the food that most people say, oh, that's space food. That's
Yeah.
what they want to see.
Yeah.
They don't want to know that you carry a regular thing of peanut butter up there. That's not very exciting, but they do take that. I'm going to make you a peanut butter sandwich here in a minute.
Oh, fantastic.
Another one of their favorite
Really?
things. Peanut butter, M&Ms, or in NASA speak, candy-coated peanuts that happen to have M&Ms on them. This was a huge favorite of Shannon Lucid, who was on Mir, and
Yeah.
she ended up being up there for a few more months, and so they were able to send her some more M&Ms on a
That's
supply mission.
fantastic.
I was going to show you one you might recognize. It's past the expiration date, so we're not going to eat this.
Yeah.
But I mean, can you tell what that is? It's a hamburger patty.
No.
It's a dehydrated hamburger.
My goodness gracious.
Okay, here we go. How about macaroni and cheese?
This
Okay,
is-
you're the chef. You're going to have to do this.
This is fantastic.
Okay, how much water does it call for?
It's so light. You know, it's so light, isn't it?
Okay, but
It's
you're
like-
the astronaut. You have on the suit.
Okay,
How much
4
water?
ounces of hot water.
4 ounces of hot water.
So it actually explains on the package here, it explains the amount of water you want, and then it says 10 to 15 minutes.
Now they don't have a carafe, a very nice carafe, on the space shuttle,
Okay.
or a really dangerous syringe. This is the same as floating with scissors. You don't float with one of these.
Certainly.
They actually have a machine
Okay.
that heats the water, and it has valves on it. Say it's sitting like this, and they can take the food,
Oh,
and
that's
it has a
fantastic.
seal on it right
Yeah.
here, and they pop it on there, and they dial in hot water, cold water, and how much, and press the button. It
Isn't
fills
that-
it up. It's like one of those little machines where you could get like chicken broth and stuff out of
Of
the
course, yeah.
machine.
Yes, certainly, yeah.
And then once they, okay, well, you go on ahead and do it. What you're going to do here,
Okay.
I've got 4 ounces of hot water in here.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to take
you're
this.
the chef, you do it.
Okay, certainly. I'm going to take this out. Oh, this is brilliant. So I come up.
Get as much as you can in there.
Okay.
Okay, now you're going to put it in here.
We place it into here.
He's going to hurt me, isn't he?
No. Okay, and now, do you
See
go
if-
all the way in? How's that?
Okay.
There we go, and then push it in.
Push it in.
So the machine, wow, look at that.
You see the water starting to go in?
Yeah,
You see it going in?
yeah, you can see
It's
it.
like Rice
actually.
Krispies. You can't hear
You
it
can
right
hear it,
now.
yeah. Wow, that's remarkable, isn't it?
And then while we're looking at some of these other foods, while you're doing that, I'm going to make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
So peanut butter and jelly sandwich, they actually eat them in.
Actually, it's just peanut butter. The jelly would be too much of a mess and too much sugar.
I'm going to get the rest of this water. So that's remarkable.
And you're going to squish this around so that it gets the water in there good. And then it says on here how long. This says it needs to sit for about 10 or 15 minutes. So with the magic of television, Getting away from him.
As you can tell, I haven't. This is fantastic, isn't it? I can't believe it.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay, so kind of, they squish it around some. It's kind of hot.
Yes, certainly.
You don't want to massage it too much because then you squish it all up.
Okay.
Now, everything in the shuttle, the space station, former Mir, there's Velcro everywhere. If you look at this tray has Velcro.
The tray, yeah.
Now, it gets a little heavy with the water, so it might not stick to you really well. But if you're sitting down, you would stick it to your knee. In the space shuttle, in space, you're wearing pants, shorts, a top, everything you have on has a piece of Velcro on it somewhere.
Really? That's fantastic, isn't it? That's
so
brilliant.
that way you can just, it's not going to float away from her. You can put it down on the counter. Okay, while your macaroni and cheese is cooking, we're going to make you a peanut butter sandwich.
A peanut butter sandwich.
You know, this is how it goes
Just
up.
regular store-bought peanut butter, no
Regular,
special.
what you can tell they take the labels off.
Of course.
And they would normally have another white label on here that just says peanut butter.
Peanut butter, yeah. So you can.
Like our rocket scientists couldn't figure out what this is in space. So we have that. Now, if you took a piece of bread with you in space, I've been carrying this in my suitcase for 2 days.
It's
now,
flat.
can you imagine flying to the space shuttle or the space station and taking it out of one of those containers? They don't take bread. Plus, when you open it, there's going to be crumbs and little pieces that fall off.
Of course.
So they don't take bread. They take tortillas. Tortillas packed flats. They're easy to take. They usually find the coolest spot they can on one of these, when they're stored on one of the modules, they find out the area in the module where water is flowing, and the cold water is flowing.
Yeah.
And they tend to put the package of tortillas closest to that. There's no refrigerator on the shuttle.
Really?
And no refrigerator on the space station. So they tend to, you know, this is just old-fashioned ingenuity. You know, rocket scientists, let's put it close to the cold water pipe, and it keeps it cold.
Cool.
So you got the spoon?
Certainly, I have just here.
So
I think this is fantastic.
This time I'll cook for you.
I really want to.
Okay.
My chef's jacket, I'm going to be doing this at home. I think it's fantastic.
So easy, no flinging.
No flinging,
See?
no flinging,
No
of course, yeah, certainly. Just splat it on.
They just splat it on, and they put a, depending on, I'm one of those people that loves tons of peanut butter.
So they like peanut butter's popular because of protein, or?
And look, you can eat anything. You can take your chicken soup and wrap it in a tortilla. You can wrap anything in a tortilla in space.
Yeah.
Okay, so you eat your peanut butter sandwich. You get, I'm not eating it, you eat it.
Okay, so we have this, and
then, okay, you got to do some work. What are you going to do? Peanut butter sandwiches stay in your pocket.
you can stick it in there while you're working.
Yeah,
I guess
and
if
you
you're
don't even
out
have
for
to zip
several
it
hours.
up. You know, usually they have on, say, like a polo shirt with a pocket. They can just stick it in their pocket, take a bite, stick it back in their pocket.
Fantastic, isn't it?
So you want to try a drink?
Yeah.
Okay, so how much water do you need, sir?
For this one, we need 250 mils.
Okay.
So
Except this time it's hot water. We don't have any cold water for you.
how long have you been with Space Hab and involved in this program?
I actually started the Space Store about 7 years ago, and then became partners with Space Hab about 4 years ago. I just love the space program.
I think it's brilliant.
I love the fun side. I love taking this to schools and teacher conferences around the country and letting kids see that you're eating the same thing as the astronauts.
Yeah. And
now, they would normally put cold water in here.
Yeah,
so, but we just have hot water right here.
Yes, Annie.
You know, it gets so hard sometimes to keep kids fired up about science and math, and things like that can sometimes get so boring. They need to see there's a fun side of it. The astronauts have fun in space. They love what they do. And you know, part of the fun in space is eating. It's sometimes a challenge.
Yes.
But it can also be fun.
Yeah, and I think you were telling me that what you can do as well is they have a website where you can go and get a list and how you can do it with your children and make a dinner or something.
If you go to thespacestore.com, we have right there on the homepage is a link to Space Food. If you click on that, we have some free worksheets that you can print out. How to make an astronaut food tray for your kids. You need Velcro. It's pretty simple. I borrowed that tray from the Luby's cafeteria down the street.
No.
And they were happy to give it to me. I told them it was for a school project.
Yes.
And I bought Velcro from the local fabric store.
Yes.
You can get it at the hardware store.
Yeah.
And just put Velcro on everything. So there you go. You got a drink going.
So we're basically we're rehydrating this.
Right, so this one says you're going to let it sit for 2 to 5 minutes.
And we're making our macaroni cheese is cooking, rehydrating
okay,
here.
it's probably doing good there.
It's great, isn't it?
Now you're going to need a special straw for this, because if you try to drink out of a regular straw, it's all going to float out.
Of course.
So you're going to have, can you see that?
So you've got a straw, and the clip, it's got a small clip on it. With the clip here, it closes it and stops it from coming out.
Because if you don't clip it, your drink's all going to come out. It's not the same consistency as your soup. Your soup is going to stay in the bowl. It's sticking.
Yeah.
This is just a complete liquid that's going to come out.
And it just clips and stops them. So we stick that in here. This is fantastic.
You know, and when we carry all of these things up on the Space Hab modules, the module also becomes like another room. You know, it's another area. It's a little hot, probably. Is it all mixed up? It's like Kool-Aid.
It's yummy.
Yeah, it's a regular drink it's a regular powdered drink of some sort bought from the grocery store. And then they put it in there.
It's really nice, actually.
So there you have a drink. Okay, you ready for some of your macaroni and cheese?
Okay, let me just take this. Put my drink there.
We have just made a mess.
We're doing great,
We
aren't we?
made a mess. Okay.
Okay,
we
so
need
we've
the
got
macaroni and cheese, and we need the scissors. That's right, you have the scissors.
This is great, isn't
Okay,
it?
we have to put your Velcro back on you.
Okay.
Okay, what they tend to do
Okay.
in space, again, you don't want to do dishes. So, they Velcro it to their leg, actually.
They'll cut it on the leg.
Yeah. They get a little hole going here.
Really?
And
So they don't even use a plate?
Uh-uh.
Oh, that's clever, isn't it?
They will cut an X. They apparently have much sharper scissors in space than we have on Earth.
Oh, I think they're the ones from my barber.
Okay, now where's your spoon? Now you're just going to hold on to it.
So they'll have this Velcro to the leg, and then they'll just
Here,
sorry?
take
Oh,
that
peanut butter.
Take that peanut butter off there. Okay, now
like
just reach in there with your spoon, because that's kind of hard to squeeze in. Okay, and then try your macaroni and cheese.
I can't, but it just looks like regular, isn't it?
Yeah. And what's really important is a lot of the astronauts get up there and it's a form of motion sickness. They don't feel all that grand. We've had a lot of astronauts tell us that their taste buds change. What tasted good, because they all practice eating the food on Earth.
Really?
They try everything that's available that they can take up there. And they say they get up there and the things they hated on Earth taste good up there. The things that they loved on Earth, they can't stand the way it tastes up there.
This
So
is great, isn't it?
That's Stouffer's macaroni and cheese.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's just they repackage it. And
They make it according to the package instructions, and then they freeze dry it in these individual.
no dishes. It's wonderful.
No dishes. Ed Lu, one of the astronauts who was on Expedition 7.
There he is there, yeah. I can see him.
See
yeah.
right there? Now, he sent this video back to us. It's great. It's Ed cooking in space. We call it cooking with duct tape.
Oh, that's
He
funny.
made sushi. He made bruschetta. There's a shot here where you can see he's kind of chasing. He goes off to chase down the tomato. The tomato
at
floated
that.
off.
That's funny.
So he brought it back. So I brought you some duct tape too, so I could show you. It's cooking with duct tape because he finally just duct taped the garlic and the tomato down so they would quit leaving. But he made sushi in space. That was something he was craving, and especially for these long duration missions. You want to make sure they're happy. That's a whole psychological thing when you're that far from home.
Yeah.
So I actually brought this to you, and I thought maybe you could take this back and make everybody space sushi.
Space sushi.
At the station.
That's great.
You know,
Space sushi.
Ed, I think, is actually using unagi on these scenes. It's barbecued eel.
Yes.
And I wasn't able to find you, so I found you some lovely herring, smoked herring.
I love herrings.
And this just hit the market. I'm not being paid by Uncle Ben's, but it's ready to eat rice.
Ready to eat
Now,
rice?
can you guess what? You just put it in the microwave to heat it up. It's already, or you can just eat it out of the package.
I wonder where this technology
Wonder where that technology came from.
I wonder where this technology come from.
Isn't that incredible?
It's amazing, really, how so much technology comes from, you know, with the astronauts and that.
The helmet your children are wearing, or supposed to be wearing when they're riding their bike.
Yes.
The helmets that the football players wear, the tiny little computer chips that come in those. I mean, they're in toys in Happy Meal toys now.
Yes.
Have computer chips.
Really?
All of that technology. The amount of technology in your Palm Pilot far exceeds the amount of technology that was on the entire Saturn V and Apollo capsule that got us to the moon.
Wow. Yeah, that's remarkable.
There was not that much computing power, so it is amazing. You want to try one more thing?
Should we try the beef stew?
I think you should try the stew. It's the
taste
old world
taste of
stew.
this.
So,
yeah, we'll have a taste of that.
We'll cut that off for you. And I also brought you potato chips. Things they don't fly in space.
No potato chips?
What would happen if you opened that right now in zero gravity?
There's a jolly good chance it'd head to the palate.
Everywhere.
Of course, the crumbs would be all over the show, wouldn't it?
And so your job the rest of the day, instead of the important experiments to help aid mankind, you would instead be spending the entire day cleaning out the filters everywhere to try to get those.
Well,
Several astronauts have lost their wedding rings in space.
Really?
And they had to go clean out the filters and find them. That's where they end up. Okay, here you go.
Okay, beef stew, here we go.
Yeah, old world stew.
Old world stew?
Yeah, kosher old world stew.
Kosher old world stew. Smells darling.
Oh. There's a great red beans and rice. There's a great bread pudding they take. It's the bread pudding recipe from Commander's Palace in New Orleans.
Why didn't you bring me some of that?
So, because I ate all of it. It was really good. And tomato basil soup, that's all gone too. I ate all of that.
Really?
That was really good.
Let's take a look at this.
So the foods tend to change what we're able to get at the store.
You can see this is great, isn't it?
Very good, very hearty. It's very important that the astronauts, even if they're not feeling that great or their taste buds have changed, that they get enough calories while they are up there, because they tend to lose weight, and you can lose a lot of weight. And if you're up there for 6 months, you can imagine how weak you would get if you were not eating properly. So you have to make sure there are tasty things, and there's a good choice of things, and on these long, on these supply missions, that you send up new things like sushi for Ed and that sort of thing. So I think I pretty much showed you everything here.
Fantastic,
There's some cookies right out of the package that they take up. The M&Ms. Oh, here I brought you this. This again is a spacestore.com product.
Really?
Great for birthday parties.
Oh, I like that.
So
That's
this one's
cute.
for you.
Yes.
You know, because you're not hyper enough. Let's give you some sugar.
Look at that. That's fantastic. That's so cute. We can go to spacestore.com and we can purchase the
Spacestore.com to get the real space food, the thermostabilized food, and the astronaut ice cream.
I like this.
And the space food sticks. So we've got the novelty food and we've got the real food. And then, of course, spacehab.com if you're interested in finding out more about how the module works and what we do with the astronauts in space. One more thing. Hand me the ketchup over there. Very important space ketchup. Do you see it?
I think I'm going to have to go for 6 months after all this food.
I know. Just like you get it from the fast food restaurants. It's packaged so well, it works just perfect for them. And this does not have Velcro on it, because you can imagine, putting Velcro on all these things, but they just keep them in a bag, and when they need, mustard or mayonnaise or ketchup, there they have it. So as you can see, the astronauts have a wide choice of things, and the astronauts on Earth have a wide choice. We have the space food sticks at the spacestore.com. We've got more information on how the astronauts live and work in space at spacehab.com. And if you come to the Space Store to pick up the space food, we'll do a 10% discount. Just type in Mad Chef.
Thank you very much, my dear. I'm absolutely stuffed and it's been fantastic.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Ashton here. I'm out the studio today. I'm over by Kennedy Space Center in the Space Hub, and I'm actually in a flying kitchen. Yes, this is a module. Look at this, it's remarkable. Today we're going to be cooking with Dania, and Dania is the chef to the astronauts, and we're going to show you today how you can cook astronaut food in your kitchen. Hi Dania, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Oh, thank you very much for that.
Fabulous.
What do you think? Isn't this fantastic?
Well, let's see. Let's cinch it in a little bit, give you more of a figure. There you go.
I need it. I do. I've been putting on so much weight. I think I'm going to put more weight on. So we're going to learn about space food.
We are. We've brought you a whole bunch of items here that we're going to let you try. A lot of different things that have flown in space, fly in space now, and let you try a little bit of everything. This is Neapolitan ice cream, which I personally don't think tastes good in its regular forms.
Really?
So here, I'm going to let you try some.
And it's dehydrated?
It's dehydrated Neapolitan ice cream.
Really?
Kids love it. The #1 product at JSC, Kennedy Space Center, Johnson Space Center. What do you think? Kind of like chalk with sugar.
Yes, it's darling.
So, big myth, this has never flown in space. Now, did you guys have space food sticks when you were growing up in England?
Never heard of it,
Big thing. Pillsbury used to make these.
Really?
And they're kind of like a Tootsie Roll crossed with a power bar.
Really?
I used to have these in my lunch. Now, this is a chocolate one. We get a lot of requests for the peanut butter, and they're going to start making those soon. But those are the old space food sticks. Similar to the way they did food on the early missions, but again, more of a novelty like the astronaut ice cream. I loved those things.
I don't think I could be an astronaut.
Astronauts can carry just about anything into space.
Certainly.
But there's also been some special foods created for them. You've seen the dehydrated foods, and we'll make some of that in just a minute. But we also have what's called thermostabilized food. Thermostabilized, it's ready to eat. It already has the liquid. You can feel the weight.
Yeah.
So they can't carry a lot of this yet because it's so expensive to carry things on the shuttle. On the space station, and we use this to show you how you could do it at home.
Of course, just on your coffee percolator.
They have a hot plate on the space station, and they have straps, Velcro straps, or your food would float off of the hot plate. Okay, this one is chicken noodle soup.
Now that
everybody loves
darling.
chicken noodle soup. Now you have a spoon somewhere around here, but like most guys, you don't want to do dishes.
No.
No, so put it back. Put it back on you.
Sounds wonderful.
Just stick it to you. And just eat it out of the package.
Out of the package?
That's how the astronauts like to eat the food. Just squeeze it into your mouth. That's a lot easier, isn't it?
Now that's yummy.
See?
It's not like that ice cream stuff.
They suspend or they dissolve salt in water.
Why?
Because if you just took salt and were to shake it on your food, off it'd go floating.
Gosh, yeah, of course.
So see, you can drip it on the food.
So they just, with the salt and pepper, or any season, and you just stick them to yourselves. And
yeah, and they have little the containers and the drawers where they can store all this. Ed Lu, one of the astronauts who was on Expedition 7.
Oh, there he is there, yeah, I can see him.
See right there? Now, he sent this video back to us. It's great. It's Ed cooking in space. We call it cooking with duct tape.
Oh, that's
He
funny.
made sushi. He made bruschetta. There's a shot here where you can see he's kind of chasing. He goes off to chase down the tomato. The tomato floated off.
That's funny.
So he brought it back. So I brought you some duct tape, too, so I could show you. It's cooking with duct tape because he finally just duct taped the garlic and the tomato down so they would quit leaving. But he made sushi in space. That was something he was craving. So as you can see, the astronauts have a wide choice of things, and the astronauts on Earth have a wide choice. We have the space food sticks at thespacestore.com. We've got more information on how the astronauts live and work in space at spacehab.com. And if you come to the Space Store to pick up the space food, we'll do a 10% discount. Just type in Mad Chef.
Thank you very much, my dear. I'm absolutely stuffed and it's been fantastic.
Thank you.